Republic of Ireland forward Áine O'Gorman is with us. Good morning to you, Áine. How are you getting on?
Hi, how are you? Good.
Why can't we score goals?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I think everything behind the scoring goals is going well. We're keeping clean sheets and passing the ball with purpose, creating chances. I just don't think we've gotten the rub of the green, and I think it's that final third, which is obviously the most important piece of the picture that just needs to come now. Look, like the next Robbie Keane's just not going to fall out of the sky in the next few days. So I think we just have to keep tipping away at it, and eventually the goals will start coming, and the confidence that we see them in passing and getting on the ball, that hopefully that starts to come in the box as well.
Can you just explain to us a little bit about what that confidence, what difference it makes as a player in your own ability to actually score goals? Because it seems like, as you say, the chances that we've created have been relatively clear-cut, and you would expect the players who have the chances have fallen to score them. And so part of it's been bad luck with Brown hitting the post. You kind of feel like, okay, maybe that's just bad luck. But the rest of them, just they snatched at them, you know. It's definitely a lack of confidence. So what is the amazing impact that confidence has, and how do you suddenly give yourself confidence when you don't have it?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of composure as well in them moments in the game, and your decision at the time whether you're going to pass or shoot, like we've seen in the Slovakia game as well. Like, look, it looks like Stephen Kenny's instilled the teams with great confidence, playing out for the back, knocking the ball around. So I'm sure they have done a lot of work in training and getting that confidence, and a lot of it will come through their club form as well. If the attacking players are scoring goals, creating goals as well, that will breed confidence. And I think once they finally get start knocking the ball into the net, then it will just go on from there.
It does seem like the defence and midfield actually have taken a quantum leap forward from the first two games where things looked very disjointed and players didn't look sharp. And it turns out they weren't fit. The pre-season had been rubbish for everybody. And then the next two games, they started to look fit and sharp. They were in possession. And as you say, they did have confidence. So is it just that the last bit gets layered on next, and it might actually be the November window before we see everything joined up properly?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I think obviously the defence has been impressive in the last two games. And like you said, they just that match fitness as well, like with the kind of upset pre-season, a lot of the players will have had at their club due to the COVID and stuff like that. So that will interfere. And you can see the players are coming in now that are getting game time, are a lot sharper. And look, the final third scoring goals is obviously the hardest bit of playing football as well. Like, goals win games. So look, it will come, and I think they'll be obviously working hard in training. And like, you're missing the likes of, obviously in the last games, your Aaron Connolly's. Look, Adam Eady can score goals, Troy Park can score goals. McGoldrick had a good game. I think he probably played a lot of his good football in kind of more of a 10 role than playing in a number 9 and getting in behind the fences as well. And look, Shane Long has goals in him too, so he missed obviously a good header against Wales the other day. So look, the more chances he gets, eventually the ball will go in and it'll take off from there.
Yeah, it's something that we were hoping for, I guess, in the past, whereas now we're expecting the Ireland forwards to put away their chances, which I guess is a good departure. Like, is it the hardest thing to do to score goals, or is almost playing in a way and playing in a way that makes sense and creating the opportunities actually the elementary thing and is the harder thing to do in some ways, because we haven't had it for so long?
Yeah, definitely. And look, I think everyone will agree it's been a much more attractive game to watch, getting the ball down and playing football. And look, they have created chances. Like you said, Alan Brown hit the post against Wales, Shane Long header over the ball. So look, it's just the final piece of the jigsaw that needs to come. And I think it's something that you can't overthink either and try too hard to do either, because then it doesn't come, and get frustrated with it. So I think they just need to keep playing their football, enjoying their football. Chances will come, and then just start taking them chances.
Is there anything that you would like to see done differently in terms of how Ireland have approached the last couple of games? Because it's definitely been a lot better, but could it be better again? Look,
I think it's progress. Look, Stephen Kenny's only been in for a few games now. He had a tough game against Slovakia, and obviously the COVID has caused a bit of havoc with having players in and players out with selection, and the short time to prepare for games as well. And like, if you look at this window, like, they've had 3 games and they're going to have 3 games in less than a week. And look, the squad has changed massively throughout the duration, and they're probably missing maybe key players as well. So it's obviously been a difficult period for the coaching staff and the players as well. But I think they've done a good job, and hopefully they put in a good performance against Finland today.
One of the really interesting facets of last Sunday was the fact that Matt Doherty slipped into centre back and looked totally fine after months and months of us speculating that he couldn't play the wing back from a full back. How difficult is that to play in a multitude of different positions from your own perspective? And how important is it that the players around you and that the coaching is top notch to ensure that it goes seamlessly?
Yeah, like Matt Doherty did a great job when he went in centre back, and so was Christie obviously replacing him in the full back role. And I think he's probably been down to a lot of criticism over the Seamus Coleman Matt Doherty debate, and Matt Doherty being more of attacking win back. But look, he slotted in, looked comfortable. He probably didn't have much time to think about it, and I just think it shows his quality as a player to adapt, and he's just willing to adapt to whatever position he can to help the team.
When you're being asked to play, say, as a full-back for the international team, if it's a different role you're given for the club team, is that jarring at all? Or is this something that once you put on the green jersey, you kind of go back into that mode immediately?
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's something that's probably the situation I'm in. I play kind of wing attacking player for my club, and then playing more of a defensive role when I've came back to play for Ireland recently. So look, I think you adapt. It might take you a training session or two to get back into the rhythm, but when it's kind of consistent, the players that are playing around you as well, when you put the green jersey on, look, you're willing to do whatever you can to help the team to get the performance and get the result.
Yeah, like we overrate sometimes how complicated it is to switch positions, because I mean they're professional footballers. They're all incredibly competent at doing the basics. And if the system is right, that I guess how complicated can it be? Is that way too unfair on a player like Matt Doherty and what he's doing in terms of playing different positions?
No, look, I think he's adapted well. He did incredibly well when he went in centre back and looked comfortable. Probably we might see him there again tonight, and see how that fares out as well. Like, I think if the management and the coaching's good and everyone knows their role and knows their position, you would hope that most players with a good quality can step into to help the team anyway.
Are you surprised by how quickly the change in the style of play has happened? That here we are 4 games in and we are now a team who likes to keep the ball and pass it to each other, and are passing way more than we have done at any point over the last decade.
Yeah, I think we always knew that Stephen Kenny was going to come in and try and play a different brand of football and more possession based than maybe we were used to in the past as well. And look, it probably only took him 2 games to get into that rhythm as well. And it's great to see the quality of players that we have and how quickly they can adapt as well. And obviously the confidence he's gave them, and the players have bought into the system as well. So I'm not that surprised, to be honest. I think Stephen Kenny's very adamant and very meticulous to attention as well. So look, hopefully we'll grow now and keep the clean sheets going and start putting the ball in the net.
You mentioned McGoldrick. Pardon me. You mentioned McGoldrick did a lot of his best work as a 10. It would have been really interesting to see him playing as a 10 with Adam Eade as a 9, and at some point maybe the two of them might actually be fit to play together, and we might see what that looks like. And I don't know if Kenny thinks of McGoldrick as a 10, but will you give us your attacking portion of the team? If you were Stephen Kenny, who you'd pick?
Yeah, like I think at the moment, obviously selection, like McGoldrick's out injured. They're missing their Robinson, O'Dowda, because of the close contact as well with the COVID. Look, I think McGoldrick is a 9, but I just think he just got drawn in a lot to the game to help the team, and he did some really good work as well, and just didn't get the chances that he deserved to get in the game. Aaron Connolly for me has to play. I think he gives us a different dynamic, a different attacking threat, and I think if he had been playing even on the bench against Slovakia, he would have came on and done some damage. Like to see Troy Parrott back in the fold as well. But I think at the moment it has to be Aaron Connolly, McGoldrick up front, probably between O'Dowda and Robinson for the right wing. And then we can't forget Robbie Brady either with his delivery and his technical ability.
Yeah, it's funny. He clearly loves Robbie Brady, and I have a feeling that Robbie Brady is in his team if he's fully fit, and maybe he's in as that third midfielder, and it's Harahan and well, I'm not sure actually. If it is Harahan and McCarthy and Brady, where does Jeff Hendrick go? Maybe Jeff Hendrick plays as your 10, and it's actually a different formation. It would be great to have like a run of games where you could experiment a little bit with this and there was no pressure, but every game has had its own internal pressure. The first game, because it was the first game, has pressure. The second game comes straight away afterwards. In fairness, he changed the team quite a bit. Those two games were kind of write-offs. Straight away, you're into a playoff for a European Championships. And now, you kind of need to win because you haven't won. So there's not really that much room for him to experiment with what his favourite lineup might be and who might be playing. Do we play with a false nine? I don't know, you know, all that kind of stuff. You would like to have the opportunity to, even the training sessions, to try it out.
Yeah, look, and there's not really many actual friendly games. They're all Nation League game now, and the pressure, like, it's came on thick and fast as well with the playoff just around the corner off the back of the first two games. Now, like you say, they're searching for the win. I don't think he's ever really had his squad fully fit either. Like, McGoldrick was out of the first camp for most of it. He came back in for the last game. So I don't think he's ever really had his core group of players all fully fit and ready for selection as well. So, look, there's a lot to think about. It's hard to nail down, and I'm sure that's a good thinking point for Stephen and the coaching staff.
Can we just talk to you briefly about build-up to the game against Ukraine? I'm right in saying it's Friday, October the 23rd. So that's actually like 2 weeks and a bit away at this stage. Yeah,
so it's actually Friday week. Yeah, we're playing Ukraine away, and it's obviously a crucial game for us in our quest for qualifying for the Euros as well, and trying to secure at least a playoff spot. So yeah, look, I think we're all looking forward to it. We had a tough game against Germany, but it was good to get back in after the long break and train together and see the girls and prepare now for this Ukraine game.
When you've seen the kind of chaos that COVID has wreaked on the men's team over the last while, are you like making sure that nobody's allowed to visit you? You're not going out. Are you trying as best as you possibly can to while at the same time trying to maintain everyday life?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's obviously been a bit of an eye opener, all the havoc it's caused in the Irish camp as well, and obviously it's not an ideal situation, and you want to be available to play. So I think you just have to obviously follow the guidelines that are out there. Limit your contacts, like they say, keep your distance, sanitize your hands, wear your mask, just do all the practical things you can, and just give your best self the best chance that you don't obviously catch the virus coming up to a crucial moment, and hopefully it won't have an impact in our camp next week.
And clearly the FAI have learned a lot of lessons from it as well, so you'd hope that they'll be able to apply those to your camp. When do you actually end up meeting up then?
So we're flying out Sunday. So yeah, so we'll have a week training then until the game in Ukraine next Friday. So we'll have a good little stint of preparation. So really looking forward to it.
Okay, and your own form and fitness all good?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, so obviously we're going into our second phase of games now with the women's national league. We're playing Galway away on Saturday. So P-Mount are sitting top of the table at the moment. So just need to try and continue that form and prepare. We've Champions League qualifiers coming up in the start of November too.
Does it mean a bit more to you now that you've come back after being away? Because I think people are probably familiar with the story at this point. You got to 100 caps and then stopped playing international football for a while. And I remember having you on and you were like, well, I'm not quite sure if I'm finished. Maybe I'm finished, maybe I'm not. And you probably clearly had it in the back of your head that you were definitely going back. So does it mean a bit more now?
Yeah, I think so. I think you probably appreciate it a little bit more. And I think it's probably like everything, you get older and look back, it's a little bit more precious then as well. And look, I take relish every moment I can to get out and get the green jersey on and help the team, and hopefully we qualify for the Euros now in England.
And did COVID make any difference to like even sharpen the desire to get back and play again, and kind of just remind you that you made the right decision to go back?
I think when you're absent for something, it's like when you're out injured or you're away from it. I think it makes you hungrier, and you kind of miss it more then. And everyone gives everyone a fresh outlook and drive to get back playing. And
again, the other thing is that there's been this surge in support for the women's team over the last 18 months or so. The Germany game, a lot of profile around it. There's going to be a huge profile around this as well. You'd hope that it feels like just a positive thing as opposed to bringing added pressure. Is it uniformly positive, or is there that little bit of extra, there's extra eyes on us here?
No, I don't think so. I think it's all positive. You have to, I think, relish it. It's where we want to be. It's we want to be competing to qualify for tournaments and bring all the attention with it as well, and promote the game and promote the women's game to everyone in the country. So yeah, no, I think you just relish that and hopefully you go out and put in a good performance.
Well, listen, enjoy the next week and the build-up, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks a million, Áine, for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.